A very good afternoon, folks. Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? I bet you can. I bet you really want to hear me rant all for the next 30 minutes. No, I'm not going to rant. I'm actually going to be sharing with you all of the latest, hottest issues that's happening in Malaysia. Mio Adlan here for another session of ACTnow Hot Issue. What's for lunch? That we are coming to you live from the Facebook channel of ACTnow. Trooper. It is Monday after all, Monday 18th of April. We have gone through about half of Ramadan right now. Hopefully your Ramadan has been a great Ramadan so far. Hopefully puasa you all puasa yang mabrur, yang baik semuanya, and hopefully you guys are still hanging in there. Apalah sangat kan sebenarnya kan. Kan? Puasa is easy, right? No issues lah, no problem. Suara je serak sikit. Thank you so much for you guys who are watching us live right now. Make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video, because why? This video may not just be beneficial for you, but also to your friends around you as well. And jangan lupa juga for you guys to download the ACTnow mobile community app on the Google Play Store as well as the App Store for you guys to be a bit more of a contributing a member of the society, specifically to take care of your community. Very, very important to take care of your community. And the app is free anyways. Just find it on the Google Play Store and the App Store. All right. And one person, obviously, who is always in love with this community and sometimes other communities as well, because he's a very community-driven person, is none other than my partner in crime, Melvin Lam. Hey, Melvin.
Hi, Mio. Yes, you do sound very husky. Your voice is getting, but yeah, I think it's probably is good. It sound much man.
What? Excuse me. Do I sound like a woman before? What are you trying to talk about?
Too merdu last time.
Tak apalah. Merdu tu membuatkan you macam beralun, macam seronok je dengar kan. That's the whole idea. How was your weekend, Melvin?
Weekend was fine. Super. Yes. The past so fast. I thought this morning. I thought it's still Sunday when I woke up.
Yeah. I was in Ipoh over the weekend, actually. Had a chance to visit my in-laws down in Ipoh. And since PKP started way back March 14th, 2020, I've not actually been to Ipoh at all. So it was actually my first time back after almost 2.5 years. Yeah. So it was the traffic was okay. I believe a lot of people are actually taking the advantage, the fact that tomorrow is actually a public holiday. Salam nuzul Quran kepada semua orang Muslim di luar sana. Hence why I think a lot of people are actually taking today off for the weekend. So the traffic was heavy, but not super heavy, if you get what I mean. But yeah, it's nice to see Ipoh back. Ipoh is actually a very nice city to live in. It's small, everything is around, and it's everything is all reachable. Tak macam KL, Kelang Kabut.
So you left KL on Saturday or Sunday?
I left KL on Friday night, actually, right after my berbuka at about 8 p.m. I left. It took me 2 hours. There were a bit of traffic at the Gua Tempurung Hill, obviously because of the hillside. That a lot of lorries are still, overtaking each other. Lorry, on the highway, overtaking each other. Stress, dalam malam, and it was drizzling. It was a bit scary though.
I hope the Ministry of Transport do something like this, because really, I mean, lorry, you must have your limits. There's already given a limit,
Yeah.
and you will cause danger to others, not only to yourself. People like us that's so innocent,
Mm.
isn't it?
Yeah, we're very innocent. That's why.
Well, we have to bring out. I mean, now, please, we have to bring out. I hope that we'll reach out to the Minister of Transport,
Yeah.
to enforce a ruling
Yeah.
that's prohibit big lorry, especially big lorries, to overtake each other. I have this phobia. Yeah, probably I share with you, because in my young days, I have 2 times I have a bad accident, car accident. The car was totally wrecked.
Wow.
Yeah. And every time if I go out stations, if there's big truck that's past me, I get this phobia. My knees, my right knees is actually very soft and get weak.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very auto. It's really that it comes. I will feel like the whole leg is all very like too soft. You don't have strength on it.
Okay. Maybe it's time for you to change into a bionic knee lah after this, like a
I
much
mean, I have to work
stronger
harder to
person.
get. I have to work harder to get a driver.
Yeah, maybe so. But whatever it is, we'll definitely give YB Datuk Sri Wee Ka Siong a call, definitely for him to entertain us and to
Hey,
talk more
Abi,
about this more. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's jump into the first topic that we want to bring in today. We want to give more confusion to all of the Malaysians out there, because why? We ourselves, we actually spoke, myself and Melvin, we actually spoke off air about this topic, what we want to present about this topic, and both of us are still quite clueless in what is actually happening, what is being enforced, apa yang boleh, apa yang tak boleh. But one thing's for sure, what was announced last week on I think over the weekend, if I'm not mistaken, and it was announced by the Ministry of Health, that's no need for quarantine anymore for asymptomatic close contact COVID-19 people.
Yes, starting
Apa
from
ni?
effectively April 22nd.
Hmm.
That's why I would like to share this article, because we are a bit confused. They say yes, asymptomatic context, isn't it?
Asymptomatic, yeah.
Asymptomatic context that's from April 22nd need not be so-called observed quarantine for those who had received booster shots, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then it carried on. But those, I'm really, when I read this, I really, how do you categorize yourself? You say it's still
Yeah.
but then I think, but however, those who will still be they still advised to be self-isolated and encouraged to undergo a rapid antigen test upon the symptoms onset and on the third day.
Yeah. You know what this means or not? Do you know what this actually means? What I suspect it means is that yes, asymptomatic patients or asymptomatic people who are close contact to COVID-19 patients, they are not compulsory to be isolated. Diorang tak diwajibkan untuk undergo HSO, home surveillance orders. They can actually go walk about and everything.
Yeah.
But they are still advised, awak dah close contact, please have no contact with other people as well. But they are not saying that you cannot go out. They are not saying that. What they say that you can go out, but try not to go out for the sake of others as well. It's like, you boleh makan, tapi jangan makan banyak sangat, tapi boleh makan. Tapi jangan makan. It's like boleh tak boleh, boleh tak boleh. Confusing.
But I mean, I don't know others. If I tell you, touch wood, if I do have it, I tell you, you can ask me to go out. We don't have restrictions. You think I will abide by such rulings? It's not even a ruling. You can, but please try not to.
Yeah. No, Melvin, the problem is that people positive pun keluar, Melvin, let alone people who are close contact. So that there's no confusion over there. But I think what the government is trying to really encourage right now, the fact that we are in the transition of phases, entering into the endemic phase, we are slowly adapting to how we need to be, because as what our viewers may know, we are actually, we have this series called the Dr. ACTnow COVID-19 series,
Yeah.
that we bring on every Tuesday and Thursday on this show. And what we actually discuss is that if we do not do that, we are restricting ourselves from becoming a nation who is undergoing endemic. So I think slowly but surely dia kena bagi juga. So kalau nak kena jangkitan tu, biar kena juga. But we still need to let it go through. If not, then it defeats the purpose of us during this transition period, if I am making any sense.
Yeah, it does make sense theoretically,
Mm. But
but
yeah,
in
but we
actual life, no one actually follow. And as you say, even those who contacted positive would be will be keeping quiet and go as normal, because one thing, you when you have a fever, you can go around, because the last time we used to have
temperature
those
scanner, yeah.
temperature scan and all the things. It's already so-called it's not compulsory anymore. A lot so-called set up organizations or even offices you entered, they take out that, so there's no alarms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even with that, I don't know about your area. I mean, like your living area in Cheras or in Bukit Bintang for that
Mm.
matter. One Utama down here in PJ, the whole mall now practices only one time scan when you enter the mall. You don't have to re-scan yourself when you enter each of the shop inside anymore. So basically, you get out from the car parking lot before you enter the main building. You teat one time with your MySejahtera. Once you're in the building, you're free to roam wherever you want without having to scan your MySejahtera anymore. But that is One Utama. Other places, I went to Empire Subang, they still need to scan each store. But One Utama, they don't require you to do that anymore, which is kind of
Okay.
weird because you dah biasa tekan-tekanan. I masuk kedai macam like, am I correct? I mean, like, don't I need to scan? No, encik, masuk. So they don't do that anymore at One Utama.
My last visit to a mall was
You're
New
talking
Year,
as if
not Chinese New Year. Talking about 31st December 2021.
okay, you're talking about sekarang dah 18
As
April
a
tau.
mall,
So
as
dah
a mall,
4 bulan you tak pergi ke?
yeah. But I do visit regularly to our neighborhood supermarkets. But I still have to once you enter, I still have to scan, and enter the supermarket, I still have to scan.
So
Yeah.
I think this is also another way for us to embrace the transition to the endemic phase, because again, yes, we still need to scan the MySejahtera code when you enter the big building. But once you're in the building, so basically you kaltim already lah. You already scanned one time, so you don't have to rescan yourself over and over again. So which I think it is a cool thing that we are
Yeah.
slowly but surely getting there.
Yeah,
I mean, as long as the number of cases are still okay lah.
I think yes, the number of cases now dropped below 10,000. But we have to, what I'm saying, that a lot of people won't listen. But we have to bear in mind,
Yeah.
if that place is too overcrowded, do not join them. Try to avoid that. If you do really seriously things that you have the symptom, please try to avoid going out. Have a rest a day or two, because you might also spread to your family. And even you are a bachelor or whatever it is, but you live in other people same in a household, you will spread to them. So we have to so-called have common sense. And we don't want cases, because of last few days, since last week, I've been watching news documentary on how China, people in Shanghai, actually the whole city locked down. Not only that, the lack of food, they've been fighting, and because being China, the government is very strict. And I see that that's one area where it's high-rise condo. I think it's quite nice, upper class condo. They all scream at night. Everyone scream at night to be free.
Yeah,
You have to listen to them. They will just gun you down.
Yeah, I saw a few clips of that. Actually, reports coming up from China as well. How parents and children are being taken away without any guidance, without the kids, getting a proper goodbye. They literally just drag you away.
Yeah.
How serious they're taking this. I mean, it's funny to see how China is doing this, but we didn't see much about this 2 years ago, or when the pandemic actually started. We are only seeing it now, where a lot of people all around the world are slowly starting to open up, like having tourists go jalan-jalan and whatnot. But now China is resorting back.
So
Are
something,
they
yeah. There,
hiding something that we don't know that is scary?
so I don't know whether it's Omicron or something worse than Omicron because look at Shanghai. Shanghai population is 25 million. Our whole Malaysia is 32 million. Just Shanghai,
Yeah,
25 million. And the cases is 20,000 per day. We used to have that. But look at how
yeah,
serious it is. But I'm just like saying, is this just Omicron or something more deadly than Omicron that's they need to have paid that kind of serious attention. So we hope that it doesn't come
yeah,
to Malaysia, that kind of issue. So we have to jaga kita. So do not left. I say last week we say, don't let go the guts. That,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So make sure you still, follow all the SOPs, guys. Make sure you still pakai your mask. I mean, like, even though sekarang ni penjarakan physical is okay, but still
Oh,
avoid if you can. And bawa sanitizer and cuci your tangan all the
yeah.
time. Because
Last
sekarang musim
night
nak raya. Yeah, Marvin.
before I went to bed, the last article I saw in the Star. Yesterday, another foreigner they say in the shopping mall in Jalan Ampang, they're trying to trace them PDRM who refused to wear.
Off. The
Yeah,
guy,
and
right?
yes, they refuse to wear. But this PDRM is trying to trace who is this
Yeah.
idiot.
So, I mean, tak kisahlah kau orang putih ke, kau orang kuning ke, kau orang hijau ke, regardless of whatever color it is that you are, you're
Yeah.
in our freaking country. Ini adalah Malaysia, ikutlah peraturan. Okay.
Yes.
Kalau pakcik kat kampung pun boleh ikut, takkanlah you orang putih yang gaji 50-60 ribu sebulan tak boleh follow kan? Come on. Alright. So, please be proper. And one more thing, maybe just to end on this topic, siapa-siapa yang ada plan ataupun yang made bookings to go to China, don't go yet lah. Don't go to
Yeah,
China yet lah.
please, yes,
Just
yes,
just
yes.
just stop.
Just
Tahan sampai
online
Thailand
meeting
je lah.
discussions. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you want to go China, those go to the YouTube, watch for those travel documentary. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Basically. All right, jumping into the second topic. We've actually brought up this topic last week, if I'm not mistaken, when we were talking about how crucial things are when it comes to domestic aids, domestic help, and how the government has actually signed an MOU with the Indonesian government for them to bring in a boatload of new maids coming on,
Yeah.
10,000 people actually by end of Raya. But there have been discussions where a lot of people, again, tajuk kita hari ini sebenarnya is all confused, because now the
Yes.
second topic is all about confusion as well. It's about doubts over hiring, about maid hiring fees, because there have been contradictions in what has been reported by the upper people, the ministers, versus their underlings. They are not even communicating between
Yes.
themselves, and it is getting confused. What is the confusion here, Melvin?
Yeah, I don't know who's embarrassing who, but this article we have to bring up because it was reported in the paper that the Human Resources Minister, Dato Sri M. Sawarawan, has said the hire of a maid from Indonesia will cost between 9,000 ringgit to 6,000 ringgit. And the first batch of will be coming from Indonesia. 10,000 of them will be expected to arrive in the country after Hari Raya Aidilfitri. But then, very contrary, the Association of Employment Agencies Malaysia Vice President Suresh Tan say, actually called the minister to give a clearer breakdown of the cost of hiring a maid, because they say it's impossible. It should be around 15,000, because they asked the ministry, please give us what are the two major parts in the process, that charges by Indonesian recruitment agency and the fees imposed by the local maid hiring agencies as well. So Tan say that the cost of hiring a maid from Indonesia will not impossible to fall between 9,000 to 6,000 ringgit. And also not only that, they say he disbelieved, or rather the associations, the employment Association of Employment Agencies Malaysia disbelieved that 10,000 maids is actually entering Malaysia after Hari Raya, when the online system to be submit application for the maids are not ready.
There you go.
So, and he said he feel that whether the minister got the data, or where the minister got this data from. As far as
Yeah.
we're concerned, the member of the associations are in dilemma because of the online system is not even ready.
And that
Right.
is just coming from one source, but there were also reports from another source by
Uh,
the National Association of HR Malaysia President Zarina Ismail. She
yeah.
actually also confirmed with what Suresh Tan has actually said. It is
Yeah.
very, very doubtful that the fees can be lowered than 15,000 ringgit. And they really want the ministry to clarify this number to be a viable number for them to really clarify what is what kind of amount goes where, what amount goes where, and everything. Because at the end of the day, especially in this pandemic,
Yeah.
with the existence of COVID-19, mana pernah harga turun, harga semua naik, and harga ni pun
Mm.
we already anticipated will be on the rise. So the fact that the Ministry of Human Resources said that it will be lowered, so they are justifying, or should I say, they are asking for the minister to justify where are the discounts that apparently has been enforced to get all of these maids to come in into Malaysia. Kan nak cakap topik hari ni adalah tentang confusion, Melvin.
Yeah, it is because I think they have to get it right. That means the government have to get it right because otherwise, I mean, in general, people would think after reading this article, if the agency imposed 15,000, we think the agencies are actually the culprit.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know, the one who inflate the price without. I mean, there's a government control price, and you charge 9 to maximum, and you charge 15,000. What's the difference? Where the 6,000 goes to? You know.
Mm.
So I mean, it's good. I hope the ministry and the minister take this as a positive, so-called feedback, right? Because you announce it, and of course there's another associations beside the two, which is Malaysian Maid Employers Association, MAMA, MAMA, Presidents Engku Ahmad. They also say that, so to avoid all these confusions and to not tarnish the brands or the names of the local agencies, you should clarify. And I think a dialogue should be issued together. I mean, have a dialogue first and issue these statements together with the players, the key players. Otherwise,
No, I
they say who's right, who's wrong,
But I mean, like, I totally agree with what you said, Marvin. Like, I'm
Yeah.
super happy the fact that the ministry has already laid down the path of saying that the fees would go down from 9,000 to 6,000, which means that the government has given out a blanket statement in saying that harga kalau sesiapa yang nak cari maid baru will no need to pay more than X amount, which has
Yeah.
been clarified. Now they have to work their bottom off to make sure that that price will be kept, and that fee will be will be akan dijanjikan lah, will be promised to the future employers yang mana yang nak ambil maid tu, because you don't want another craziness happen by suddenly the minister will go, oh sorry lah, hari tu I tersilap cakap, sebenarnya 20,000. Mayhem will happen, I can assure you that.
Yes, I think we watch out what's the news, what the ministry will say, because we have three major associations that actually say, no, it's impossible. The system is not even ready, and doubt that 10,000 maids will be coming in. So it's very contradicting. It's not good for the image of the country. I'm sure Indonesian government has read this story as well.
Yeah.
All right. We have Bernama too. That also work with others news agency, international news agency, changing so-called articles. Right. So it doesn't. It's actually tarnish the name of Malaysia, if this is right. So if that's 9 to 6 and 15,000, that's a lot difference.
Tak, apa yang kita takutkan sebenarnya, Marvin, you know what we're afraid of? We're afraid of cronies, we're afraid of under table taking. Granted, they say that it's 6,000, but they want to charge 15. So that means 9,000 goes into someone else's pocket. If you times that by 10,000 maids, that's already 9,000 times 10,000 is already what? 900,000 already. So it is very, very scary numbers, when these things happens. We don't want corruption. We don't want, 9,000 times 10,000 is 9 million.
9,000
times 10,000. My maths, I don't know. I puasa hari ni, I tak dapat fikir.
No, times 6,000. That's like the difference.
6,000. 6,000 times 10,000.
Is 60 million.
60 million goes into some cronies or some
Yeah.
corruption pockets and everything. We don't want that to happen. Itu je yang paling penting sekarang, because Malaysia, you are doing such a good job right now in weeding out all of the corrupted people now in the no, there were cases in the armed forces, there were cases in the police, there were cases in SPRM itself. So it's good that we are going towards a much freer, corruption-free Malaysia, and hopefully it doesn't come into that when it comes to hiring maid across the border. So please, Malaysia, do this one correctly and do it well, because, well, people need help one way or another. All right. Jumping into our last topic, as always, we want to bring out the Act Now and the community. This one is very closely related to to everyone actually, because why, it promotes two things. One, dalam kau buka kedai macam haram yang tak elok, and one, you promote smoking outside at the place as well. What we are talking about is this here, where you can see cigarette butts and cigarette packaging on the streets where a restaurant is. Melvin, cerita sikit, what is this?
Well, this is reported recently. So this gentleman, I mean the user, actually report that this restaurant operates in the evening. They actually put their chairs on the walkway and also on the so-called the car park, which is not allowed, right? Because it's
Yeah.
public area. Not only that, the customers smokes and they allow them to smoke.
Mhm.
Fine, that's one thing that is against the law. Second, the smokers, after that, they will just throw the bugs on the pathway and on the streets. So it's actually the residents is really upset because they love the residents, they love Daman, but this restaurants is not cooperating, advising the so-called diners not to smoke or providing ashtray to them. So we work closely with Minister of Health that supports so-called anti-smoking at the restaurants and all these things. So it was reported, and the enforcement officer from MOH actually went to the restaurant and issued compounds to them. Yeah.
All right.
So not only local councils that we work with, we work very closely with MOH as well too. Cases like especially on the smoking, and in those days, not following SOP, but now SOP is getting very lenient. So I don't know. Yeah,
But one thing's for sure, we would like to remind each and everyone out there. Yes, we have this wonderful app called the ACTnow Mobile Community App, which you are more than freely to use it, utilize it, and report any shortcomings or whatever that is happening all around with your community. Tapi satu benda lagi yang kita nak ingatkan juga, for people out there, please lah, don't be brainless. Okay, you are given God's gift in having a proper brain for you to go and work untuk mencari nafkah, getting food and whatnot. Please be disciplined. They always say, oh, ini government tak enforce, oh, tak ada enforcement kat sini. But that's the thing, if you always expect the government to spoon feed you, to be like school teacher dengan rotan always following you around, how are you to become a much more responsible person? Please, that's all what we're asking for. Please follow the rules. If you want to smoke until the kingdom comes, you smoke lah dalam rumah you, nobody's going to say anything. But when you're outside, public's air, that's another story.
Now teacher also cannot rotan the students. Sorry.
That's why teacher also takut kena rotan. Nanti they will upload on Facebook lah, on TikTok lah, whatnot. Nanti jadi case, jadi issue, bahaya juga tu. So yeah, please do follow the rules, guys. I mean, the rules are there for a reason. You're not gonna die by following the rules. Okay, seriously not. All right, we have come to the end of the show, but before we go, we just want to give a shout out that we have a lot of shows that's happening right now. As mentioned, we have Dr. ACTnow COVID-19 101 series, which is happening every Tuesday and Wednesday. But coming May, we have a new season of something coming on, kan? Melvin, boleh cerita ke?
Yes, our ACTnow season 2 getting more exciting. We have also added in new faces, our clinical psychiatrists. There is at least 6 to 8 of them.
Right.
In a group.
Right.
So, and we have a new format, and of course, we love everyone who wants to come in as a guest of our show. Please PM us. We love you as a person, an ordinary person, how to share your experience or share your view with the letters that we receive. You know,
Mhm.
so we know how. I mean, we like to know everyone how people out there outside actually advise their friends if they actually been so-called seat advisors.
Exactly. So don't forget to catch holiday updates on our Facebook page, Act Now Trooper, from time to time, where we will be announcing all of these hottest news and hottest new series that we are providing or showcasing for you guys. That's it for
All
this
right.
week, Melvin. Thank you so much. I'm gonna end this together. Sebab I rasa seronok lah sebab kita side by side when we say goodbye together ada I sorang-sorang. Macam sedih je I sorang-sorang ni kan. So
Wednesday, we'll be back on Wednesday.
definitely. We will be back on Wednesday. So, Melvin, say bye bye.
Bye. Take care, everyone. Stay
Take care,
safe.
guys. Bye.
Bye.